So we're cutting that out.
Well, let's start with the thing that actually did happen related to bed this morning.
Hi, everybody. Day 4. What was the thing that was related to bed this morning?
You decided to wake me up.
Oh, yes.
Rudely.
So, we needed to get going. We had things to do. I looked at my clock and it was 7:55 in the morning, and we kind of figured we were going to get up around 8. So I rolled over and told the princess, hey, it's 8 o'clock. And she doesn't even open her eyes. She just says...
Unlikely.
You was sleepier than that.
Probably.
And it's just that's one of the many things I love about the princess. Because it was the most accurate possible statement. Because as it turned out, she had set an alarm for 8 o'clock.
I did.
So, she thought it was unlikely to be 8 o'clock without her alarm going off.
But it wasn't impossible that it was 8 o'clock.
It was just
unlikely.
I love that half asleep, her brain went through and thought, what is the most accurate word for this situation? Princess, it's 8 o'clock. Unlikely. So then we went to the Borough Market for breakfast, got some cinnamon rolls and bread stuff.
Bread stuff. Oh yeah, I got cinnamon buns and I got an amaretti, which was like the most. It was like if you took amaretto and turned it into a cookie. It was like the best thing ever. And then I also had a goat cheese, tomato, basil, focaccia bread thing.
And then we went to the Churchill War Rooms.
And cranberry lemonade. Delicious.
Yes. And I had orange juice and mango.
At the Borough Market, which was awesome.
Borough Market is pretty cool. And then we went to the Churchill War Rooms. And the line was slow getting in again. Awful. But we went through it anyway. And it was kind of neat.
It was nifty.
Yeah, I mean, they turned most of it into a museum of Winston Churchill and less about the bunker. But there was plenty of bunker stuff there.
Yeah, there's plenty of bunker stuff. I would have liked more stuff about the war, I guess. Yeah, there's a whole section on Churchill's early life and his relationship with his parents, and I was like, nah, I don't need that.
Nah, bro.
Nah.
Didn't like your parents? Get in line, bro. I love my parents, I'm just saying.
But they did have some cool bits, and it's true, I don't really know much about Winston Churchill.
There was some neat like a lot of equipment that was left over from World War II that was neat, that was in there.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
What was considered high-tech back then was cute.
The switchboard and the phones and all that stuff. It was pretty fun. We then cut through St. James Park.
The officers actually got bedrooms there, and they were totally livable.
Oh yeah, actually the bedrooms were kind of nice.
Yeah, they were fine.
Like if you told me, okay, this is where you're going to live in this bunker now, I could live with that. Yeah. The officers' quarters, not in the regular.
No. The regular ones were apparently infested with
They didn't
rats.
show us the regular ones. It was too depressing.
No. Mm-mm.
So then we cut through St. James Park, briefly.
Yeah.
Which had a beautiful little cottage that was apparently like the bird keeper's cottage. Yeah. He's responsible for the birds.
There were lots of birds.
That was nice. And we cut through that on our way to Trafalgar Square. Yeah. Where Princess mounted a lion.
Ooh, that sounds creepy. Why'd you phrase it like that?
Princess got all up on a lion.
So it's hard to tell from the picture, but it's actually quite hard to get on the lion. It's, first of all, hard to get to the lion because it's kind of tall to climb up to, and my shoes had no traction. So.
Around Trafalgar Square are 4 plinths. And you have to... I mean, you really got to climb to get up on them. Mm-hmm. But there's tons of people up on them at all times. Yeah. And then on each one of them, there's a gigantic metal lion at 4 corners.
Yeah. And there's no sign saying to not climb on it.
Which is good, because everybody's climbing on it.
Yeah.
So I helped the princess get up there. I gave her a boost. Then I climbed up there, and it looked very much like a cow climbing a tree. But I managed. And then I gave her a boost up on the lion. Then I jumped back down so I could take a picture of her on the lion from the ground so it would look impressive.
Yeah. It's a big lion.
She named it Ronald.
Yeah. Yeah, Ronald and I are friends now. And then we went to Buckingham Palace.
Briefly.
Which honestly just skip.
Yeah, we couldn't get inside. Sometimes there's tours at a very expensive price.
We weren't that interested, so we didn't look too hard.
The Royal Guard weren't there, so I guess the Queen is not in residence at Buckingham right now, so they must be wherever she's at.
Who knows?
Because there were not the traditional Royal Guards. I mean, it's pretty. There's gates for each of the... Like, we were by the Canada Gate.
But, like, honestly, it looks like a million other buildings that you just walk past in London.
Except there's a lot more gold around it.
That's true. The gates are fancier. But the building itself looks exactly like all the other buildings that you walk past.
Yeah.
It's not that impressive.
From there, we went to Green Park.
Yeah, I liked Green Park. It was very green.
There's not a lot in Green Park.
No.
It's mainly grass and trees. But it was very interesting to just see, like, so many people. First of all, there weren't that many people compared to everything else we've done since we've been here.
Nice. Yeah.
But so many people were just, like, going to the park to lay in the grass and take a nap or read a book. Like, this is...
Well, it was also one of those rare days when it doesn't rain, apparently.
They've just allotted this time in their day. Hey, what am I going to do from noon to 2? I'm going to go take a nap in the park. Okay.
Which, it was great weather, so I would have been right there with them if we didn't have stuff to do.
It was the smallest of the royal parks at 40 acres. So we cut through that. It was very peaceful, very quiet, very removed from everything.
It was nice.
It's also, they phrase it better, but it's considered the boring park because it doesn't have anything going on. It's just grass and trees, and the trees are all in rows.
I really enjoyed it.
Then we went to Hyde Park, which was much busier.
Very busy.
Rose gardens, tons of tourists.
Hyde Park is the biggest park of the royal parks.
Yes. It had the Serpentine, which was like a man-made lake that you can swim and paddle boat. And...
Yeah. It was pretty, but it was just, there were too many people. And of course, it seems like you can't, like, walk anywhere. You can't go anywhere without running into a memorial at some point or another.
Oh yeah, it's memorials everywhere. We found a Holocaust memorial. I mean, there's
memorials to, like, everybody who ever died in any war ever.
I mean, including some American stuff.
Yeah, there's some American stuff.
I think from there, we went to the Italian restaurant at that point.
Yeah, that Italian restaurant.
We couldn't get into the Italian restaurant we wanted to because they don't take walk-ins because they had a really good review and got full of themselves.
Apparently.
So we went to one that was nearby, and we learned definitively, without question, if you do not ask for the bill,
they will not bring you the bill.
They will not bring it to you. No. I made her avoid eye contact with the waiter. I was like, let's see how long this takes.
For like an hour. Like, we were done eating. We were just done.
We did, I don't think it was an hour, but it was probably 30, 45 minutes of waiting for him to bring us the bill, but not asking for it.
Yeah, it got a little bit awkward at one point.
Yeah, my favorite was, we were there so long, Princess needed more water. So I put my finger at the guy, and he nodded at me, and he came over, and I requested more water, and I did not notice, but Princess did. He had the bill in his hand.
He was clearly carrying the bill.
But when I asked for more water, he did not give me the bill, and instead walked away to get more water, and we never heard from him again until I flagged him down, finally, to request.
Yeah, the only reasonable conclusion that I've drawn from this is that here it is rude to bring you the bill unless you have asked for it, because maybe they think that's like, now get the fuck out, or something like that.
I still think it's related to the fact that tipping is not a big deal here, because that means they don't have an incentive to turn over tables quickly.
I don't know.
And I think that's kind of given this culture where it's rude to give them the bill.
Well,
I think mine leads to yours.
I think they just don't want to rush you.
But we still had some extra time to kill, so we kind of find ourselves in the American district.
We were in Leicester Square, right?
Yeah.
Cheers. But I'm going to turn this into dubstep using sound number 6 that I showed you. This one. Check this out. Thank you.
And there was a McDonald's and a Burger King and a TGI Fridays.
Like, there was a Lego store with a line around the building.
We don't know why there was a line around the Lego building.
But I really wanted to go in there. I wanted to see what everybody else was seeing.
But instead, where did we go?
Oh, we went into M&M World.
A 4-story store dedicated to M&Ms.
And Skittles.
And some Skittles. In every color and flavor. Well, not every flavor, actually.
Not every flavor. They only had milk chocolate, peanut, and crispy.
They did not have dark chocolate. They did not have peanut butter.
They didn't have peanut butter. I really wanted peanut butter.
They can put your face on an M&M. You can get gold M&Ms, white M&Ms, any M&Ms in the world.
Put your name on an M&M.
For floors of M&Ms and M&M merchandise.
Oh God! And when you walk into that store,
Wall of chocolate
like
right in your face.
tangible smell. Of
I
chocolate.
could taste chocolate.
It's overpowering. Like it's like they like spray chocolate dust into the air or something.
It was powerful.
It was crazy. And then there's any kind of like memorabilia like that you could possibly ever want, like weird apparel.
Anything M&M related,
anything.
cups, everything.
There's some good photo ops.
Yeah, we were taking pictures of ourselves. We were taking pictures of other people to help them out. And then we went to the reason we started this trip in the first place.
Yeah.
We went all the way out to Romford to see the Goodnight Sweetheart play. That happened.
Yeah.
So that was today.
And everybody else seemed to really like it. And that's enough said about that.
Except for the people that were sitting next to you that left at intermission and didn't come back.
That's true.
They were the smart ones.
Yeah.
I could give it my review.
Oh yeah, I loved your review.
You have to know the story of Goodnight Sweetheart for this to work, and if you don't, I'm sorry, you're just out of luck. But finally, at long last, the final bomb of World War II has gone off. And I love Goodnight Sweetheart. That play was not Goodnight Sweetheart. At all. It was... God.
It was a thing that happened.
Oh.
And I knew that it would be bad the second we saw the theater. Because we're walking down the street in this, like, nothing town. I guess it's a neighborhood. I don't know, whatever.
Whatever Romford is.
Yeah. Nothing little town. And I'm
the only traffic was the buses. There were no cars.
There were no cars. And I was like, this does not... We're the only people on the street. Like, this does not seem like the kind of place that you would go to see a play. Like, it just doesn't. And I was looking at it, I was like, nope, there it is, right there. Okay.
Except that wasn't the play building, was it? The play building was behind it.
Yes, and it was tiny. Very tiny. Like, totally out of the way.
And we found out that the main actor in the show was the guy who runs the theater.
That's never a good sign. Yeah.
Anyway. So it's after midnight. We are tired. It's been a long day. Getting to Romford and back took
forever.
Half the day.
Yeah.
I mean, we headed out that way at like 5:30 and got back at midnight. And there was 2 hours for a play in there. Getting places in this town. Although, we haven't mentioned it yet, but if you ever come here, get an Oyster card. Get a weekly Oyster card.
If you're going to be here for a week.
If you're going to be here for more than 4 days. It's about $50 American per card, but it's unlimited use of the underground in sections 1 and 2, which is going to be everything you're going to want to see if you're doing the main tourist stuff.
As long as you're not going to Romford like we are.
Yeah, Romford was in section 6. But it's also unlimited use of buses.
Everywhere in the city.
Everywhere, not just zone 1 and 2. And honestly, this play is the only thing we've done that was outside of zone 1 and 2.
True, yeah.
And it looks like that's going to continue to be the case.
Yeah.
So, highly recommend getting that weekly Oyster card because then you're just free to travel all week, no worries.
Yeah.
And the public transit here is really good.
It's really good.
I mean, it's a little confusing at first, but it turns out Google Maps has got it down. Google Maps will guide you. Apple Maps.
Apple Maps. It's okay.
Apple Maps, she's been doing the navigating. I just follow her.
The street signs here are like non-existent. Did I mention that? Like the street signs are like non-existent.
But Apple Maps will guide you, hop on the central line heading north to this destination, get off at this stop, hop on this train over here. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Even I'm starting to learn the underground, and I've just been following you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a lot of cool stuff planned for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'm going to eat some cheese and go to bed. Say bye, princess.